Kourtney Kardashian is finally breaking her silence on Kylie and Kendall Jenner's feud with Selena Gomez, and she wants to let you know that she's Team Selena.
You got me sipping on something I can't compare to nothing I've ever known. I'm hoping
It looks like Kourtney Kardashian is going against her own family to support Selena Gomez, and she's also speaking out on why she decided to distance herself from the Jenner clan and the Kardashians just retire. That would be nice. There's been a lot of speculation lately that Kourtney's relationship with her mom Kris Jenner and her sisters is strained, and some sources even claim that Kourtney is no longer on speaking terms with her family. Others are saying that Kourtney's sisters have ostracized her because they're jealous she found love with Travis Barker, and despite being the oldest sibling she still looks better than the rest of them without trying so hard. Well, Kourtney just proved once again that she's not going to let her family control her, and she's now publicly supporting Selena Gomez despite Selena's rumored feud with Kourtney's sisters Kendall and Kylie. So what exactly did Kourt say about Selena? Is she supporting Selena despite her family? Let's break it all down. Kourtney Kardashian is getting showered with praise from fans online for sending a message of support to Selena Gomez amid Selena's recent drama with Kendall and Kylie Jenner. And yes, we're all tired of hearing about the Jenner sisters' drama with Selena. However, Kourtney's reaction definitely caught us by surprise. See, Kourtney always went against the grain of her famous family, and unlike her sisters, she's the only one who never let her momager Kris Jenner control her opinions, and this situation with Selena Gomez is just another proof of that. Now, before we go into Kourtney's message to Selena, let's talk about how Kourtney is now publicly rebelling against the Kardashians and how she managed to come out on top despite being criticized by her family for years for not working hard enough. So if you've been keeping up with the Kardashians from the get-go, then you know Kourtney's relationship with her family has always been extremely complicated. In fact, even before the family became famous, Kourtney often clashed with her mom Kris Jenner, and it all stems from Kris cheating on Kourtney's late father Robert Kardashian. Back in 1989, Kris started an affair with 10 years younger soccer player Todd Waterman, and when her husband Robert found out, it broke the family apart. Robert and Kris divorced in 1991 after 13 years of marriage, and the divorce was especially tough on Kourtney because it's the oldest sibling. She can still remember the arguments and the dysfunction caused by Kris's affair. Kourtney resented her mom for destroying the family, and it's obvious that she still has a lot of unresolved issues with Kris that often comes out in a passive-aggressive way. But what's even more problematic is that it seems like Kris never truly owned up to her actions, and instead she tried to blame Kourtney for overreacting. To give you just one example, during an episode of Kourtney and Kris got into a huge argument over Kris's affair after Kris compared her affair with Todd to Kourtney's romance with her then boyfriend Eunice Benjamin. Chloe was also quick to take Kris's side, and she and Kris then ganged up on Kourtney, accusing her of holding grudges. You do not give mom the benefit of the doubt ever from your childhood, and it's really unfair. You only remember with Todd or this or that. I don't sit there and dwell about Todd. No, we're not saying that you have your own Todd right now. No, I actually don't. I'm actually not married, all right, but then I'm not having an affair. You can't compare one to the other. That's absolutely not true. Both Kourtney and fans who watched this episode were shocked by Kris's gaslighting because Kourtney wasn't cheating on Scott with Eunice. She and Scott were broken up at the time, and her situation was completely different from what Kris did to Robert. But that wasn't the only time Kourtney's family tried to tell her how to feel. After Kourtney and Scott broke up for good in 2015, Kris started pressuring Kourtney to give Scott another chance, and fans suspected that Kris was trying to manipulate Kourtney to stay with Scott because she knew their storyline could boost ratings for their reality show. And I think he fits well with all of us because we've all been around each other for so long. I think at this stage, from what he tells me, he would love for it to be you and him. He's a talker. My whole family for a couple years now love to just bring up me and Scott getting back together. And even after Kourtney explained to Kris that she gave Scott more chances than he deserved, Kris continued to put pressure on her and constantly tried to make her feel guilty for breaking up with Scott. All he does is try to make everybody else feel bad for him and try to make me look like the bad guy in the situation, when clearly I'm not. From 10 years of this going on, wouldn't you be sad if you truly left you alone? You always want what you can't have, and when somebody's right there giving you their heart, he's not though. If he was, that was one thing. He's not. That's what he makes it seem. And then there was another very telling moment in the same episode when Kourtney explained perfectly why her family always gangs up on her. It's just such a natural thing in our family, what everyone does. If someone goes anyway against what everyone else is doing, it just seems like they just attacked But as you probably know, it wasn't just Kris who constantly criticized Kourtney. Her sisters, especially Kim, were also extremely vicious to her, and for years Kim tried to push this narrative that Kourtney's lazy and doesn't contribute enough to the show. Kourtney always is difficult. When we were first starting out our careers, I would do anything to help them out. Kourtney doesn't have to lift a finger, she doesn't have to do anything, she should do this for me, like with no questions asked. Besides that, you've probably noticed how Kim can't stand not being the center of attention, so it must drive her crazy that Kourtney gets attention without even trying. And if we're being honest, Kourtney's also the most natural looking of the Kardashian fashion sisters, and unlike Kim and Khloe, she never went overboard with cosmetic procedures. And then, to top it all off, Kourtney found true love with Travis Barker. And as for her sisters, well, Khloe is allegedly back with the cheating champion Tristan Thompson, while Kim is still out here posting thirst traps on social media and talking about how she wants to date a doctor or a lawyer next. Kim and Khloe have been throwing jabs at Kourtney for years, and a few months ago rumors started circulating that Kourtney's no longer on speaking terms with her family. After Kris failed to tag Kourt in a family photo, Kris posted this promo photo of Hulu's show The Kardashians, and she tagged all her children's personal accounts except for Kourtney, who was tagged as Hulu. Besides that, back in March 2022, Kourtney became the first Kardashian family member to attend the Oscars, and yet Kris apparently didn't post any photos of Kourtney from the event or even acknowledged Kourtney's attendance. This led fans to speculate that Kourtney and Kris had a falling out of her business because Kourtney reportedly refused to let Kris manage her and wanted to launch her company without any involvement from her family. One fan on Reddit commented, "At the time, I have a feeling that Kourtney did the Lemmy deal by herself and didn't want Kris to be involved. I also believe those two are currently not on speaking terms and possibly may have had a falling out. It's definitely a combination of factors." And another person added, "The rumor is and has been for a few months now out that Kourtney isn't talking to multiple people in the family more than absolutely necessary, and so this would check out if true, since my money is on her not talking to Kim and Kris, with maybe Khloe thrown in as well." But despite being singled out by her family as the lazy, uninteresting one, Kourtney still managed to come out on top, and fans are now saying she's the only likable one left in the Kar-Jenner family. And now that Kourtney has publicly shown support to Selena Gomez and shaded her own family in the process, she's getting even more love from fans. Selena's feud with the Kar-Jenners goes all the way back to 2014, when Kendall and Kylie reportedly schemed to get Selena and Justin Bieber to break up. This drama was recently reignited when Kendall and Kylie joined Hailey Bieber in seemingly throwing shade at Selena. And even Kim and Khloe chimed in, showing their support for Hailey. That bombastic side-eye, criminal offensive side eyes, do you understand? But Kourtney's once again letting her family know that they can't control her, and she just sent a clear message that she's team Selena. Kourtney's wellness brand Lemmy recently released a line of liquid vitamin drops, and Kourtney decided to use Selena's song "The Heart Wants What It Wants" in a new TikTok showing off the product. Sources close to Kourtney are now saying Kourtney will never turn on Selena just to please her family, because she actually likes Selena as a person, and plus Selena's younger sister Gracie and Kourtney's daughter Penelope are besties. However, Kourtney didn't stop there, and she also recently threw some not so subtle shade at her family while responding to a fan comment on TikTok. After one fan suggested the Kardashians should retire, Kourtney couldn't help but agree, and the Kardashians just retire. Oh, that would be nice. As you can imagine, Kourtney's now getting a lot of love from fans, and they're praising her for supporting Selena and not letting her family tell her what to do. One fan commented, "All of the Kar-Jenners are obsessed with bodies, looks, plastic surgery, except Kourtney and Rob. And seeing that she has had her kids first before all the others, she had different priorities. I love the fact that she used a Selena Gomez song. She picked a side and is showing it." And another person added, "Just look at the whole picture. Who dismissed her loser baby daddy and married someone who really loves her? Good for you, Kourtney. Someone has to have some morals in this family." But how do you feel about Kourtney using Selena's song to promote her product? Is Kourtney really the only genuine one among the Kardashians? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video.